Welcome back. I'm still with Talk's international editor, Isabel Oakeshott. Yeah, Isabel, I sat down a couple of days ago with Elon Musk for 30 fascinating minutes. Elon Musk, I keep calling him Elon, I mean Errol Musk, Elon's father. Interesting guy, colourful life. So what we're going to play now is just a few highlights. For everybody, you can see fuller excerpts of this amazing exclusive interview tomorrow night on my TV show What Just Happened at 9 o'clock, and after that at any time you like on YouTube. We'll also be putting it out as a full package as well. But boy oh boy, he's lived an unusual life. Here's some of the edited highlights.
It's my 70th birthday. They came to Cape Town with about 50 Americans, and we had this big birthday party for me. And after the lunch, the one chap, his name is Favreau, John Favreau, he said to me, so I believe you support Trump. This was just before the election in 2016. Yeah. And I said, yes, and everybody broke out into raucous laughter. And then when they finished laughing, he said, well, why do you support Trump? And I said, well, I think he's good. He's a businessman, much better than a career politician, yeah, absolutely, and so forth, or a career, bureaucrat. And much better. And they all laughed their heads off. They said, no, he's a con man, he's a thief, he's a crook, he's this, he's that. And they all,
Trump derangement syndrome.
They left me sitting there. And then after that, they all we had actually sequestered a whole block for that thing, And they all went off to their private vans and stuff to go back to their hotels and stuff. And then Elon and Kimmel came and came down on me, how could I be so stupid? Couldn't you say, I don't know, don't you realize how you embarrassed us? Trump is evil.
They were saying that, yeah.
Yes, they were saying that. And Elon was saying that, and he's evil, and you're also evil to
support him. How has it gone so much full circle? What's his journey since then? They
experienced the Biden presidency. And when they experienced the Biden presidency, they realized that this group of people were out to destroy everything of value in the United States, including their own businesses.
And how would you define Elon's politics? Because it's all too easy to
centrist.
Say he's
terribly
right-wing.
Centrist.
And you were saying earlier, though, that I think, like yourself, he has a deep-seated hatred of apartheid.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a deep-seated hatred. I mean, he just doesn't like it. It's not normal.
Fair enough.
but he's also very in favour of law and order and civilization, Yeah. So it's not like, he's very centrist. I'm pretty centrist. I'm inclined to be, before you're going to break something down, just make sure you've got something to replace it with first. That's called being conservative, Yeah. So I'm a little conservative, So before you smash down the factory, let's make sure you've got a new factory going before you
conservative in a small C, yeah, I get that.
I don't think that's violence on my part,
How did you manage to kill 3 of them?
It's smart.
How did you kill 3 of them with 2 shots?
Well, it's a Magnum, so when you...
A Magnum? What, like in the Clint Eastwood films?
Yes.
The most powerful handgun in the...
Well, it's not the 45, it's the 375.
That's a pretty powerful gun, though.
357, right? I mean. Yeah. It's the 357. It's very powerful, yes, extremely powerful. And the noise from it is gross. And after the event, with their shooting and my shooting in a closed space, the police said to me, you're going to have hearing loss. And I said, oh, really? And as it happened, I lost hearing in my right ear.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because of that incident?
Yes. Because
so when you said about having a powerful gun and there were 3, so did one of the bullets go through one of them and into the other? Is that what happened? Good Lord. And you were tried and acquitted, presumably on the basis of self-defense?
Yeah, self-defense.
Self-defense. Yes. And you're protecting your 6-year-old daughter, so...
Yes, she was there. She saw the whole thing. I was just talking to her about it. She lives in Texas now. And she was saying to me, she remembers how we managed to escape. They shot the windows out, so we were able to climb out through shot windows, and we were able to hide in the grass outside, some shrubs and grass. Yeah. And she was telling me how she remembers how we lay in the grass and how they were searching for us while we were laying in the grass,
So that, Isabel, is the man who begat the richest man in the world, an extraordinary character. Elon grew up with him, of course, in 1989 it was, because Elon's mother was Canadian-born. Elon was at Pretoria University in South Africa and didn't like it. So Errol said, well, why don't you go and study in your mother's country in Canada? So he went over to Canada, went to the University of Ottawa, and then transferred to Pennsylvania. Got 2 degrees there and ended up in California, Stanford, and that's where him and his brother, Kimball, created their first company, and you know the rest is history. But it proves that Elon Musk's background is, to say the least, unusual. And one of the most interesting things about him, I mean, obviously people might not like him, but he is an extraordinary kind of genius. A man who runs 3 massive companies, has for the last 6 months or so been hand in hand with the president, sorting out the efficiency of the government, and apparently spends most of every day playing video games. So he is an extraordinary man, but when he was at school, he was quite average, you know, B grade kind of a guy. You know, Errol goes, oh, very bright guy, but nothing special. So quite a story.
I mean, it sounds like a fascinating and really wide-ranging interview. I loved hearing the clips that you played just now. I wasn't quite sure where it was going with the gun. I was impressed by your gun knowledge. You know, I don't know anything about the different types.
I know the Clint Eastwood film. You know, the Dirty Harry. This is a Magnum 500, the most powerful handgun in the world. I know what you're thinking. In all the confusion, did I fire 5 bullets or 6? Well, the question is, puts it to that guy's head and said, the question is, do you feel lucky? And anyway, so that's how I know about the Magnum. But so Errol, among his many businesses, he was a very successful businessman himself. He had interests in 3 emerald mines. He ran a horse stud farm. He had a chemical engineering company. He said that at one point, because you didn't put your money in his day in a bank in South Africa. He said you had to put it in. He had so much money, he said it was all spilling out of the cupboards. But at his stud farm, as happens in South Africa, this bunch of black guys came and tried to take the farm off him. Said, give us your farm. He's with his six-year-old daughter. He said they start firing bullets at him, and he said, no, you're not having. Anyway, as he just said, he produced this extremely powerful handgun, shot 3 of them dead with 2 bullets, the second one going through 2 of them. So he's got all these extraordinary stories. It kind of, I suppose, begins to explain why Elon Musk is such an unusual man.
Absolutely. And Kev, I know you've sort of built up a bit of a relationship with Elon Musk's father. I know you've interviewed him a few times. So tell me, I think a lot of people will be wondering, what is his relationship like with his son? I mean, is it that they are like a little bit estranged, or are they still quite close, but they just do their own thing, or what?
It blows hot and cold. He says, Errol says at the moment they're talking most days. He said, but they go through... They go through phases when they don't. Now, when Elon was making the grade over in Britain, and of course things in South Africa have not been stable for a long time, to say the least, and I'm not trying to say this in a sort of racial way, but it's difficult for wealthy white people in South Africa. So Elon said, Dad and his then wife, he said, why don't you come to America? So Elon got them over to America. And, you know, there's no place like home, you know that phrase. So there they were in great wealth in wonderful sunny California. And Errol and his wife hated it. So they went back to South Africa. Now, at one point, Elon called him the most evil man in the world. You know, so they have a sort of fractious father-son relationship. But I think there's a mutual respect. And here's the interesting thing. Errol once sort of famously said, I'm not proud of my son, right? So I said to him in this interview, well, come on, Errol, here's your chance. Put this straight. I mean, how many fathers can say, my kid grew up to be the richest man in the world? My kid is worth $450 billion. You, come on, put the record straight. Say you're proud of your son. He goes, I wouldn't say that proud is the right word.
Oh, wow.
He said, happy.
This will be why he's so successful, because he's never been too praising of his son.
Yeah.
You know, the son is successful because he's always probably been trying to get that praise, and it's always been elusive.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you get this thing as well. You get a sort of certain competitiveness between fathers and sons. And Errol, as I say, he was a successful, quite well-known politician for a long time in South Africa as well, often on the television. As I say, made a load of money. Has had a very colourful, romantic life, to say the least. So, you know, I think he was sort of the big man in the pond, as it were. And I think possibly there are tensions over the fact that Elon has risen as high as he has and is now internationally renowned. But what I'd say is that, you know, a lot of people will say, oh, well, in Errol's background, you know, there are allegations that he wasn't very nice to his wife. There were sort of allegations of violence and stuff like that. Never proved, by the way. So, oh, well, he must be awful. I'll just say this. That I just kind of liked him. You know, I found him a likeable, interesting guy. So, as I say, tomorrow that will be on my show, What Just Happened, at 9 o'clock on this channel, and then available on YouTube anytime you like after that. But very quickly, before we move on, Isabel, your thoughts on the fact that Elon Musk did today basically quit the White House. He's left his Doge campaign to others, the Department of Government Efficiency. And there's some sort of sense that maybe him and Donald's close relationship with his first buddy has soured somewhat, because Elon Musk stated, I think it was yesterday, that the new budget bill has come up, and it's something ridiculous like, I'll look it up in a minute, but it is many, many hundreds of trillions of dollars. And Musk said, this undermines everything I've done. I'm really worried for the Doge project now. I hope it can succeed. And he also said he didn't like the way that Doge became the target for all of Trump's critics. So people who didn't like Trump came for Elon Musk. So he's leaving with a slightly soured relationship, but he wants to go back and run his businesses.
Well, I'm not really surprised at all. I mean, his businesses have taken a hammering as a result of his connection with Donald Trump. And I think both men have served a purpose for the other. And it was pretty transactional. You know, Elon Musk got a taste of what it's like to be at the heart of politics, you know, the heart of US politics, which means at the absolute nucleus of power in the world. You know, he had a ringside seat on the most extraordinary developments, the rise and the return of Donald Trump. And for his part, Trump gets the Elon Stardust, and everybody's a winner. And I didn't expect that Musk would want to carry on forever. I mean, it's pretty rare, actually, for even very successful business people, never mind someone of his caliber, to actually want to be in government for very long. It's a frustrating change from being in charge of a business where when you pull the levers, things actually happen. So I think it sort of worked out okay in the short term, and probably has perhaps even survived a bit longer than it might have done.
Yeah, I mean, it was always mooted that he would finish his tenure towards the end of May, so I suppose that has played out. But to go back to what I was just saying, Donald Trump has just delivered what he calls his big, beautiful bill, and that's his spending bill. That's the money that they'll be getting through. And this is $4.5 trillion. That includes $4.5 trillion worth of tax cuts, while increasing America's deficit. The result will be a kind of $36.2 trillion debt pile. And Musk said this kind of undermines much of the work he has been doing in cost cutting. So it's kind of interesting parting of the ways, but I think it's probably for the best. You know, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, it's like that old song, you know, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. Something had to give, and I'm glad they've actually parted company, at least amiably.
For now, let's see
For
what gets said.
now. For
Sure.
now.